This is the Hamad International Airport. In 2001, HOK specified a zinc roof for a new airport being built in Doha, Qatar, on an 8.5 square mile area of newly created land just offshore in the Persian Gulf. However, we felt they needed a much more appropriate alloy for how severe of an environment Doha has. For starters, the newly created area of the airport was made with reclaimed soil that had an extremely high iron content. Furthermore, the high salinity of the Persian Gulf, extreme heat and humidity, as well as the mere 2.9 inches of annual rainfall make for an extremely severe environment. Throw in downwind petrochemically processing, and you have one of the most difficult environments to try and have a successfully sustainable metal installation. You can see here, this is the reclaimed area for the airport just off Doha City. We considered titanium, but back then we were at war, and the new Boeing and Airbus megajets were being constructed, so much of the titanium being produced was already allocated. With this roof requiring 4.5 million square feet of material, we had concerns that we would not be able to source enough titanium to complete the roof. With titanium out of the question, we were forced to look at stainless steel. But as you can see from these crossing swords made Type 316, they were already rusting after just a few months of being installed. So with the standard marine grade stainless ruled out, we needed to find a more noble alloy that could withstand these severe conditions. We then considered a duplex alloy like 2205, but with all the skylights on the roof that would require field welding, and with all the embrittlement issues associated with field welding 2205, we were forced to rule the duplex alloy out. We finally settled on a lean duplex alloy called ATI 2003, which was developed for offshore oil rigs and could easily be welded in the field and would hold up to the severe environment of Doha. The InvariMatte finish was then selected because its low glare finish would not blind pilots on approach, a major concern for this desert airport. A lean duplex alloy like ATI 2003 works by confusing any corrosion that may occur from prolonged degradation. The metallurgical structure consists of austenite and ferrite in roughly equal portions. So should corrosion attack a grain of austenite, it would be snuffed out when it ran into a grain of ferrite, and vice versa, because corrosion cannot recalibrate on the fly and attack different grain structures. As you can see from this diagram, the light shapes are representative of austenite, the dark of ferrite. The idea is if corrosion were to occur, it occurs on a microscopic level, thus not compromising the overall integrity of the alloy. Because of the low thermal coefficient of expansion in stainless steel, some sections of roof consist of some of the longest sections of continuously run panels ever done. Some panels on the main terminal measured as long as 480 feet. Now these panels here, probably around 180 to 220 feet. The idea is just kind of give you an idea of scope of how long some of these were. The panels were roll formed on site and hoisted on the roof by crane. They were then staged on the roof prior to installation. You can see the nice tight tolerances we were able to keep. That was something of a concern working with the high spring back rate of stainless steel and the high tensile strength of the duplex alloy. So as you can see, they were able to keep it in check exactly where they needed to. Now this slide tells a very interesting story. Not only does it show how little glare the InvariMatte finish is producing, but the men in the photo were amazed by how on a 120-degree day, their shoes weren't melting on the stainless steel, and they could even touch the bare metal without burning their fingertips. They came back to the US with the goal of finding out exactly why that was. Sure, there were studies on the SRI level of painted aluminum, but a study had not yet been done on stainless steel. We studied 3 popular building materials after a 20-year life cycle, and we found that the stainless steel actually performed the best by retaining a high reflectance rate of around 94%. White paint starts out very good with a reflectance rate in the 90s, but after degradation, it ends up only directly reflecting about 60% of the sun back into the atmosphere. Of the total infrared radiation that each building material emitted, about half was absorbed by the building, and the other half lingers in the surrounding air, contributing to the heat island effect. And what we're demonstrating in this slide here, the yellow lines are the sun's rays directly going back into the atmosphere, The red representative of the infrared heat that is either contributing to the heat island effect or being brought into the building and have to be remedied by the HVAC components. The stainless steel roof we tested was on the EnvariMatte clad roof of the Pittsburgh Convention Center, one of the first LEED green buildings ever completed. The management continues to report that the convention center has heating and cooling bills that are far less than they ever expected. We suspect the stainless steel roof has a lot to do with that. Currently, the EnvariMatte stainless steel roof on the Hamad International Airport is the largest in the world, and after all the expansion work is eventually completed, the airport will be able to handle up to 93 million passengers per year, making it the second largest airport in the region after Dubai. The check-in and retail areas are expected to expand to 12 times their current size, making the whole airport roughly 2/3 the size of Doha City. So the expansion is going to come here off the end of the tail wings. They're going to expand the belly out even more so they could fit in more retail in the terminal area.